Thank you, one and all. I'm over here. I'm over here. It's a lot of people tonight. I'm over here. Do you see me? On there, right here. Hello. This is Chad. Welcome to Stone Soup Poetry. We have excellent night for you tonight. We have old friends and new friends coming. This is what makes a really good open mic happen, especially on the Zoom line. Thank you all for joining us in this at our virtual podium. Our feature tonight is longtime Zoom. Well, by long time I mean about 5 or 6 years, same as all of us. Fellow longtime Zoom poet, Rick Christiansen, who is not only debuting new work but also the entirety of a new chapbook collection, which he is reciting in its entirety tonight. So, if you want a copy of the chapbook, write down everything really fast, and he'll let you know the line breaks by going like this. Anyway, this I'm very excited about this. Rick is my biggest cheerleader. Even he was buttering me up so much I was rolling my own eyes. I'm not the biggest fan of myself at this age of my life, but I appreciate the kind words and I appreciate everyone who comes here week after week, and I appreciate all the new faces here. And if you're interested, as of this writing, we meet every week, every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Sometimes it's an all open mic. Sometimes we even do a workshop now. That's the new thing, and of course sometimes we feature. This is one of those nights, and I want to get the open mic started. And the Raminator 5000 has chosen for the insurmountable task of being first and making that first step before you have to walk 1,000 miles. Go, go, go! Let us go now to Anna Jeffrey.
How dare you? How dare you pick my first? Okay, so this one is a relatively recent one, and I rewrote in its entirety. So the only thing it has in common with the original is the title, which is Minotaur. You picture him at the center of the labyrinth, like the thing was built around him, like it's a costume, crinoline surrounding him, like it's home to him and not a jail. He paces edge to edge in semi-solitary confinement. Horns, sharp hooves, hard bellows echo around the corners and a quarter mile away. And you, horse girl, you, risk taker, you, monster, fucker, you dream to be the one he needs. Manic pixie service provider, coax into your lap his shaggy crown, mess that mane on thick thighs, heavy sighs. Let him sob his story, forgive him his curse and the error of his mother's ways. Stay when every sensible sacrificial damsel flees for the exit, scrabbles at the walls of the oubliette, marks her way with string and lipstick, trying to outsmart the Goblin King, while you, chosen child, you oathbreaker, you monster, fucker, you write his fawning legacy, trace with trembling fingers the old sword room, sweep his hearth clean, invite Hestia back in, appoint yourself queen, console the beast, spin his straw bed into gold thread, embroider yourself a gown befitting the palace in the clouds you are waiting for him to promise you, and you, silly girl, you myth maker, you monster, fucker, you weave a tragedy with him at the center, with him as the victor, him as the victim here, sweeping away the bones of the girls who came before, promising yourself that you are not made of bones, drawing the maze with the walls of your words, hostage holding your own key, and you cry, but he, as he skulks the hallways, smashes his own things, leaves behind a trail of bones you promise yourself you're not made of.
Thank you, Anna. I'm getting used to the new format here. I don't know how many of you had got an update to your Zoom, but everything's all black screen now, and I couldn't even. It took me a minute to figure out how to switch from gallery to speaker view. So, but we figured that out. Everything else is smooth sailing. I'd like to bring up next, before we bring some of our new friends into the mix, Rita Rusty Rose.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Rick, can't wait to hear you. This is a new one I'm working on without her. Busy days shroud my thoughts, but when evening, her smile shadows the wall of night, drifts about moonlight. She haunts, traps dreams, impales my soul. Her bewitching nocturnal susurrus consumes my heart, with bittersweet lullabies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rusty. And now throwing in someone I don't think has been on our as part of our group before. I'd like to bring up Mr. Jacob R. Moses.
Yes,
Ah, there
yes,
you go.
Chad. This is in fact my first time reading at this open mic. And I wanted to come and support Rick. He had told me about this, and I, I just definitely wanted to come and support, listen, and of course read. So this is from a book called 12 Thoughts to Self. You can hear from my New York accent the fact that I say the word thoughts. But this poem is called Triple Damned. It's dedicated to a very special episode of the show Good Times. Some of you may know exactly which episode I'm talking about immediately. Damn, damn, damn! Florida Evans throwing a punch bowl to the ground represented her shattered heart derived from stifling her own mourning. You never know the minute when grief strikes the soul you attempt to stitch together like the patchwork of a quilt
The
covering a
husband died.
Three forceful dams exclaimed when one believes they can maintain their peace during the most dire of circumstances. I never cried the moment I learned my father passed away from a stroke affecting his breathing. It wasn't until my birthday that I finally broke down. One day after Father's Day, 3 days after his burial, 6 days after his death. My birthday suit was adorned with a torn black cloth pinned to my chest. My house was open during the Shiva. My heart was closed to affection. Florida found a rose on the fridge. I found a dagger on Dad's dresser. And to this day, I see reminders every time the clock strikes 6:11, the day he died on. Good Times, James Evans was killed in a car crash. Family learning of his demise with 1970s funk blasting in the background. After futile attempts to stay strong by way of suppressing emotions, we learn true strength comes from the deconstructing of walls we erect in grief. Good Times continued without James. To this day, I struggle to find my own without Dad's wisdom and guidance. Still struggling to remember them in a mind rapidly aging, succumbing to perils of these fleeting memories. My mind takes the form of fragments of that punch bowl, and I need to hold on to joy where psychoactive trips won't be an exclusive source of multiplying fractals, where momentary flashes lock the trigger and release the glimmer in the eyes of whomever beholds memories of Florida through broken glass. Thank you.
We lucky we got him. Okay, that's a joke for only some of you, sadly. But thank you so much for that, Jacob. I appreciate that so much. And welcome once again. Bringing up one of the old guard, let's bring up Jan Rowe, who I think is still on the call. It's getting hard to find everybody. There you are, Jan. All you got to do is unmute. There you go.
Here I am. Um, this one is from Speak Neighbor, which is the Episcopal Cathedral. It's like a quarterly. So I'm in Black Sea Writers, and also in this is Speak Neighbor. Still today, mine odor's greed causes death. On Wednesday mornings, clergy and activists go to Burlington Mall. A bus ride from Alewife to an ICE office, immigration, customs enforcement. Juan David reported there as ordered and was subsequently hauled out of there. Destination unknown in one of 4 vehicles with darkened windows. Juan David objected to mining corporation executives in Ecuador being willing to sacrifice trapped coal miners due to money, cost outweighing miners' lives. The word roots the same with corpse and execute. A couple decades ago, a couple dozen miners were trapped in Chile, you may remember. Rescuers were amazed when a note came back up on the tip of a drill bit. The note said they were alive. At a cost of about $20 million some decades ago, of which the company paid one third, successful rescue due to advanced mining technology. In 1907, Monongah, West Virginia, about 500 men and male children died in that coal mine disaster. No advanced mining technology then in 1907. Initially thought about 360 died. A great-grandfather, can you finish this? Jeez.
Great-grandfather, Andrew Duff, 1856 to 1917, fire boss or pit boss, the one who decided if the mine was safe enough to work daily went to help, likely because his job put him in conflict with coal mine owners. This day book from around 1900 shows several different addresses. A century later, after
our millennium, the mine at Monongah was opened and revealed about 71 miners sitting. You got to do it.
sitting in orderly rows awaiting rescue that never came. No technology then. Perhaps a second mine exit was one, or that may have been my Hall ancestors in northern England. Now, Juan David may be unjustly imprisoned, but no attempt to rescue trapped miners because of the costs, because profits would be affected. Really? Thank you. Whoa.
I'm dealing with a little trauma from fire.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Drink lots of fluids. Up next, let's bring up another volunteer for reading, Mr. Martin Parker.
Hello, thank you very much. Not sure this is my first time here, but if it isn't, it's been a while. Great to be here to support my former boss and friend, Rick Christiansen. And seeing the title about the forest, I've got a short poem here written recently about mentions of forest. This is called Ventricles. I search for the key to a sacred door that leads me to stride on the forest floor. Amid the calls of owls at night, who silently soar in nocturnal flight, the words within reverberate inside these hidden chambers where emotions reside, until I learn to set them free and let new dreams awaken in me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. And if this is your first time here, then welcome. Hope you come again. If this isn't your first time, where the hell you been?
Exactly.
I cover all the bases.
I got lost track of it, I guess.
We have more people on the way. I'd like to bring up Jacqueline if she is ready.
Okay. It's called making a play towards making sense, so an action and success is deemed fitting. Now you have an avarice, a covetous Cupid, a greed, D thing. As an object, something insatiable, and she meant avatar. A muse, a protagonist, and an antagonizing body, politic, to court a muse within. My made up words, my make up time, and now you don't. Misuse me, direct, or reproach, unless it fits. You learn some propriety. http://www.merriam-dictionary.com/dictionary/arbiter. You must err upon your own misfortune. Err. Eh? That's mine. A stab at poetry.
Thank you so much. Did you have another one?
Uh, no, that's
That
it.
was short. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'd like to bring us to the poet of Three Rivers himself, Mr. Richard Spizak.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Have a little piece for you. This is a little meditation on the corridors of power. It's called Once Again, Proved in a Switch. Once again, thank you. It's proved in a switch. If you're rich, you can be 47 kinds of a son of a bitch. Walk through walls no cell can keep you. Walk through, kick open the sturdy George door and ignore all the people. Once again, all the restraints go unused. Why, son, if you're rich, the sheriff will shine your shoes. And if it's listed in all the places where the charges were dropped, that myriad places where the law just stopped, it basically flopped. You'd be convinced that all the laws on the books, that, well, there just weren't any. You can shine that pretty penny. And sadly, if you didn't have any, that is, if you were cash short, the snarling law will snort. And by the penny pinching ghost of old Jack Benny, if you were down to your last few pennies, on you, the law would drop. And if you didn't have any, not even 2 coins to draw together, stop. So, mister, if you're hauled up on a million charges, or maybe, just maybe accidentally, some copper's gun discharges, well, accidentally, of course, because you know it's rare, but if you poor old pool boy, you'll just probably end up in jail. And it's completely unnecessary to remind that any rich man in any court will soon find a special place to rest his feet on a fleet of eternity's attorneys to make it all read. Steal some secrets, corrupt an election, maybe he'll see justice, or just his next few connections. How he stumbled past any law form, reform, chloroform. He'll just laugh and pass out some tinselly, gingerly, gold-plated, pretty good form, steal and rob, murder for sure. Then barely 10 minutes later, he's waltzing out the door. He'll be rewarded in the end as long as he can buy enough of those judicial prejudicial friends. Justice just looks away and coughs. Election interference? Don't you worry that well-coiffed head. All the charges will suddenly, circumstantially be dismissed instead. Election interference? Well, that's just for littles. Go ahead, your maid just told us the prosecutor's busy cooking up your favorite victuals. Investigations of your bogus college scam? Well, those large charges were discharged. They was dropped. They flopped on a hopping prosecutor with willful knowledge. Amazing what writing kiting checks can do from Mad Hatton, Miami, or Kalamazoo. Yeah, sure, says you. His boast that he can shoot anyone on 2nd Avenue no longer seems to ring so hollow. Once more, that stuff you once found so hard to swallow, more like Daniel in a den of spaniels. Walk on water, steal a race, seems simply pathological, and if an occasional reporter dares to ask a question, hey, order me up 11,780 votes, but that's another case all washed up, but hey, in a great big flood of money, sways it take note. Who's to say? All those secrets stacked and packed by the pool at Mar-a-Lago? Any discussion of that? Well, my friend, keep that under your hat. There's been an embargo. Will New York or Georgia find some spine, or just blinking slink away like Gates in the nick of time? Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Richard. I'd like to bring up next story time with Mr. Bill Lewis.
Thank you so much, Chadford. May I have sharing permission for a moment?
Oh, yes. One sec.
So, as people know, I live here in Priest River, Idaho, a metropolis of some 1,754 souls. And we have started, someone here has started a writers group and send request. Can I share?
Thank you. Having issues with the new system. You should be able to share now.
Okay. And I want to brag for a moment. Check this out. the Beacon has a distribution of, I don't know, 2 or 3,000 people here, but there we are. Our writers group made the local newspaper. How cool is that? So I just wanted to show off and just say there we are. So our little writers group, yay us. And for our writers group, they gave us a prompt to write about travel or something. So I will share this one with you. Sheremetyevo. Gedele Gedia Vash Visum. You must have a visa to enter Russia, even if only transiting to another country. No, они мне сказали, but they told me it doesn't matter what they told you, it's not legal. Меня зовут Dmitry Yaglavny. My name is Dmitry. I am in charge. Please get your bags and follow me. I see you have been in St. Petersburg before. Why is that? I'm a computer scientist. I was giving talks at the university. I have Russian friends. And you speak Russian? Немножко, a little bit. I fell in love with Chekhov when I was in high school. I could send you back, you know, but I won't. I believe you. The airline should not have let you all get on the plane in the first place. There's a flight to Estonia tomorrow. You have to sleep in terminal. Do not make this mistake again. Большое спасибо. I promise I will not make this mistake again. It's okay. Good luck. I don't mind sleeping on the floor, but oh God, that cigarette smoke is everywhere. Oh, poor me, poor me. Извините, excuse me. I'm a little bit lost. Is this the entire terminal here, just from that wall to this wall? Da. Sheremetyevo. Very small airport. There's only one restaurant. It closed very soon. Best you go now. That was quick. They don't waste any time when they close their restaurants. Thanks for reading. Now leave. I've got my laptop. I can sit here, work on my program. And the whole place is just me and that guy on the second floor. He looks real comfortable. He's got a sleeping bag, he's got a pillow and a chessboard. I think I'll just cuddle up with my MacBook and go to sleep. I am sleeping in the airport. I keep my face closed, my hat over my face. I'm sleeping. I do not see the lights. I swear I'm asleep. Oh, I want to be asleep. And finally, a noise. I hear something. Someone's coming. Oh, it's the janitor. I don't care. There's light outside. Maybe I'll look around the terminal time before I get up and Dobre utro. Good morning. Good morning to you. You have quite the layout here. Yes, 2 months. If I return to Sierra Leone, they will kill me, but Russia will not let me in. Holy shit, now I was feeling bad for myself. And downstairs, would you like to join me for breakfast? Oh, yes, thank you. That would be very nice. I'm very dependent on the kindness of people like you. I'm happy I could help. I can't imagine 2 months living in an airport terminal. Well, I play chess very well now, and I get to practice my English and my Russian. My plane is here now. Good luck.
Thank you, Bill. Let's get some of our new friends to join on the open mic. Everyone's saying, I'll read it later if time. There's time. We got time. I'd like to bring up Ellen Austin Lee. If she's ready.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. I'll keep it short. I'm just going to read one sonnet from a heroic crown that's coming out next year. So this one's sonnet 5, titled Turning. Wrongs I thought faded in the laundry, brush off like dust when those I love begin to fall sick. The shock, tumors found growing inside my brother and sister's bellies. To lose them, I will never be ready. My mother waits in her chair in the living room, losing her sight, near 100 years in this world. Wind whirls too warm in January. Everything's out of season. Yesterday's snow, now dirty patches on the grass. I make peace with news I can't live with. Shadows. Walk past deep puddles. Scrape mud from my treads. Swallow. Just today, I say, but watch the sky. Unease sometimes comes back in newly colored casts.
I like that a lot. I look forward to reading more of those if you want to come back and share. And Marcia Herlo just asked what the name of the book is.
I'll put it in the chat.
Cool.
Thank you. And thanks for listening and having me.
Thank you. And up next, who wanted to read if there was time? And there's time. There's always time. I'd like to bring up next. Martha Ellen.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. It's called Bridal Illusion. It's a poem. Bridal illusion is a soft mesh fabric, often used for veils or layered over opaque cloth to create an ethereal effect. Illusions are peaceful places. She preferred living there, all rough edges softened. Even the barbs from the few spearheads that do penetrate dissolve, and the spear can be easily removed, leaving only a tiny speck indicating where the puncture had been. No pain whatsoever. In illusion, all flatware is sterling, all Christmases gilded, all china Limoges. The plans to smother her one autumn day in a deserted forest preserve in northern Illinois on the uphill footpath by holding his palm over her mouth and nose, and then sliding their infant under the surface of the nearby river until he drifted away, thwarted only by the muted sounds of distant voices, were misunderstandings. Later, she thought the sideboard too angular. She wrapped it in illusion. It looked better that way. That's all. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Martha. Up next, I'd like to bring up, I believe the screen share is up for you as well, sir, Mr. Robert Fleming, our visual poet from Delaware. Every Zoom reading should have one.
Thank you, Chad. So, I don't know if many of you know that I'm retired now, but when I was working, I was a television writer. And in 2010, I made several pitches for new comedy series. This was one of my pitches. Who in the Zoom remembers the British comedy Keeping Up Appearances? Anyone? Bill, I see Bill's hand up. Okay, so it was originally out of BBC, and then it came to BBC in America. It was on 1990 to 1995. It's a comedy about manners. So I made this pitch in September of 2010 in New York City at NBC. So on the left side is the image of the star, Hyacinth, and her husband's name is Richard. So Richard dies, which is Hyacinth's husband. Hyacinth goes to the undertaker and views 3 levels of caskets. The most expensive is called executive. She buys the cheapest one, pauper, which has a sign on the casket, and returns with a chisel and cuts off the word executive. Before the funeral, she goes to the funeral hall and glues on the word executive to the pauper casket, and the sign falls off during the funeral. Another one of the scenes is Richard dies of the most common reason, heart attack. Richard is sitting in the coffin. Hyacinth complains about the reason why he died and comes up with a rich reason, complications from gout. And the brother-in-law also dies at the same time as Richard, and he wins the executive coffin. He is a member of the Wife Beaters Club, which entitles him to the executive casket. The way he dies, Daisy, his wife, buys some Viagra and secretly gives it to him. And then, as he is fighting her, advances off, he has a heart attack. And unfortunately, this pitch was not successful, but it was one of several that I made. And I'm going to share one more. This was a satire of a soap opera, just a text piece. It was published in Dumpster Fire Press, which is a magazine which no longer exists. The Sluts and the Chaste, Season 1, Episode 1. On today's episode, The Chaste at the Whorehouse. Lola keeps her legs crossed. Rent boy Ray genuflects in chaps. John keeps his zipper zipped. The madam is abducted by a sex anorectic. The Sluts at the Convent. Mother Superior leads the Hail Mary moans. Sister Agnes of Indulgence indulges. Father Inferior is tested in paternity court. Bishop Ralph de Bricassat counsels Father Inferior on making the congregation flock. Today's episode is sponsored by Chaste, the scent of the old maid. Just one drop makes you soft. Join us tomorrow at the football scrimmage and space station. Thank you for letting me share my television pitch and a satire of that I also wrote. Greetings from Delaware.
Thank you, Robert. I'd like to bring up Joe, also known as, I'm probably going to mess up this because I'm saying it for the first time, Joe Arcangeli. Arcangelini. I can help unmute you.
Ah, there we
There you
go.
go.
Yes, that was pretty good. It's actually phonetic. If you just look at it, and it's pretty. There's no tricks in it. Okay, so
Arcangelini. Okay, then you're up.
yeah. Okay, so I've got a poem here. This is called "Busking at the Gates of Heaven." I do not expect to get welcomed into whatever heaven there may be for the true believers. I am not a believer. I have tried to be a good man, though. I figure that might count for something. In the event I'm wrong, I'll most likely be standing outside the gates, reading my poems to whoever passes by on their way in. I'll have an overturned hat at my feet for catching any voluntary contributions of grace they can spare. Perhaps, with enough generous donations, I could busk my way into heaven, so long as I am careful about which poems I read. Okay, thank you. Let's see.
Thank you, Joe. And looks like we have up next to make sure I got everyone on the list who wrote in the comments that they wanted to read. Let me see. I believe Scott Young wanted to read as well. There you are.
I've got two short ones. First one is called Johnny Cash Blues. I had a dream last night that Johnny Cash and me were kids together. Before the black clothes, Folsom Prison Blues, I Walked the Line, and Martin Guitars. We wore low-top Converse and caught crawdads out of the creek with paper clips, string, and bacon. We smoked Viceroys by the tracks. You hear that train a-comin'? He whispered. I hung my head and cried, 'cause the good dreams never last long enough. And the next one is entitled Gone with the Wind for Butterfly McQueen. I met Miss McQueen in 74. She was on stage in Kansas City in a starring role, and I cleaned up after the dinner show and all the money went home. She told me once that I would do great things. I told her that I wanted to go into construction. Shaking her head, she had the biggest smile. She said that's not what she saw. She said she didn't care for streets paved with gold, never believed in those Jesus myths, and her first acting job was a maid, and probably her last role as well. That when she did Gone with the Wind, she couldn't go to the premiere. It was whites only. When I said, well, that was a long time ago, Miss McQueen, she smiled, placed her hand on my arm, shook her head. No, honey, it's not. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I think someone asked you what the title of the book was. You might be able to answer them in the comments.
Okay.
Now, one segment that just kind of happened organically at Stone Soup is that there's a segment which involves Stone Soup players. Basically, you're a Stone Soup player if you volunteer to be a character in someone's one-act play. I credit Robert Fleming for starting this habit, and then everyone else for jumping on the bandwagon. Um, Most notably, and in particular, particularly poignant because he's next up. Let's bring up Mr. John Wesick.
Thank you, Chad. I'm hoping that I can share the screen here. Looks like I can. Okay. Please welcome to the stage the Stone Soup Players, starring Anna Jeffrey as June Cleaver and Richard Spizak as Ward Cleaver. The scene starts out. Ward reads the newspaper while sitting in an easy chair. June approaches.
Ward, I'm worried about the beaver.
Well, what is it, June?
The Hells Angels were at school today. While all the other kids were speedballing meth, riding motorcycles, and losing their virginity at 13, the beaver stayed inside doing his trigonometry homework. Without a sense of adventure, I'm afraid he'll end up a shell of a man like you, Ward.
What? You didn't think I was such a shell when I rescued you from those polygamists in Utah?
This is no time to dredge up the past. This is about the beaver. He needs a male role model, and all you do is sit in the basement and play with your toy train.
Can I help it if I need to decompress? After 12 hours in a nail salon when I'm with my trains, I stand over an entire world that I created. I imagine myself shrunk down to an engineer in N scale, hauling 40 rail cars through a paper-mache tunnel, over popsicle stitch railroad bridges in my Santa Fe locomotive. The wheels on the track go clickety clack, and I pull the air horn as the children watch me go by. Yeah, whoop, whoop.
I am so sick of that salon. Your hair, your skin, your clothes, they all smell of nail polish remover.
Hey, cuticle care paid for this house and that dress you're wearing.
It's not that I don't appreciate it, Ward. You did the best you could, but what about the beaver? He needs someone to guide him into manhood, Ward. I got the beaver a fake ID. Don't ask me where. Why don't you take him to a bar and teach him to objectify women? Then he can drive home with a blood alcohol of 0.15 and knock over the mailboxes.
The last person a boy his age wants to be seen with at the Rusty Tapeworm is his old man. Let's sign the beaver up for chess club.
I want to be a grandmother someday. And with the beaver at ballet camp, there is no one to, I'm sorry, with his brother at ballet camp, there is no one to teach the beaver how to be a man. I'd have to watch online, but the internet hasn't been invented yet. Face it, Ward, you're his only chance.
I'll tell you what, I've got some acetone in the shop. I'll take Beaver downtown at midnight and we'll set a few hobos on fire.
Thank you to the Stone Soup players, Anna Jeffrey and Richard Spazak.
Oh my God, you'll be panhandling outside Peter's Gate too.
Stone Soup Poetry, where everyone wants to direct. All right, I'll give anyone who wants to, who thought they didn't have time to read, but now wants to read because there's plenty of time to read. Yeah, you can let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, I'm going to bring it to. I'm doing my best to go through the list. I usually have a 1 page worth of readers, but I have to be a little careful here. But thank you all for your patience, and thank you all for coming for tonight. Unless anyone else wants to chime in with a poem, I'm going to close with Mr. James Van Looy, who is the ultimate closer for all of Stone Soup's open mics. James has been coming to Stone Soup for decades and decades. He's one of the longest. He's one of our longest patrons and participants in everything that Stone Soup's been part of since Jack Powers founded it back in 1971. And he is a columnist with Oddball Magazine. You can check out his column, It's All One Thing, every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And now, Mr. Van Looy.
Thanks, Chad. So I have a poem here called All One Thing, There Is No Such Thing. Tossing paper airplanes into updraft to soar in the canyon wind tunnels, up over the treetops, floating rafts of paper riding rising wind funnels. I'm improbable, statistically impossible, persisting just despite the unendurable sucking sound of the wind, issuing terrible warning, the all one thing relatable to over there, over here effects always felt, and the endless forever wars keep stewing the whole region becomes a conflict belt, the buckler of Israel, geopolitical encircling the ancient navel of planet blue Earth. Gravity pulls down, but air gushes forth. And here's a little song for you. You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. But whatever you wish to keep you better, grab it fast. Yonder stands Jarlfern with his gun, crying like a fire in the sun. Look out, the saints are coming through. It's all over now, baby blue. The highway is for gamblers, better use your sense. Take what you have gathered from coincidence. The empty-handed painter from your streets is drawing those crazy patterns on the sheets. The sky too is folding under you. It's all over now, baby blue. All your seasick sailors, they are rowing home. All your empty-handed armies, they are going home. Your lover who just walked out the door has taken all the blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving under you. It's all over now, baby blue. Leave your stepping stones behind. There's something calls for you. Forget the dead you left, they will not follow you. The vagabond who's rapping at your door is standing in the clothes that you once wore. Strike another match, go start anew. It's all over now, baby blue. It's all over now, baby blue. Peace.
Thank you, James. And anyone who's interested in submitting to Oddball Magazine, you can check out the link that we put up in the at the top of the chat. We're always looking for work, and we're especially looking for timely work that's commenting on the events of America and which affect the rest of the world. So anything that's pertinent and timely, you can send it, and we try to publish it every Monday, possibly Tuesday if we get a lot of material. And we accept poetry on any other non-political topics as well for the rest of the week. I'm still figuring out. We do have people we need to post for April. Jason Wright is still featuring on April 8th. The 20. Oops, give me 1 second. Oh, somehow I minimized the window. I didn't think I could do that. The 22nd, I believe, of April is when Diane Sands, one of the co-founders and co-editors of North of Oxford, is going to be featuring. On April 1st, Stone Soup will not be happening, at least not on that day, because there's a special event for the late Ron Goba at the Cantab in Cambridge. If there's anyone local, I recommend you go there. It's going to be a momentous occasion with generations of the Cantab participants and many poets, including from the era of Patricia Smith, who was a Cantab host and founder of that reading venue. And whether or not I'm going to have a reading on the first week for Stone Soup is yet to be determined. I'm taking the next day off, so I could easily do an open mic on the second, but I don't know who would be willing to feature yet. So we will find out, and hopefully I'll be able to announce features coming up for Stone Soup's 55th anniversary month. So all this information will be coming. Thanks. As all this information will be coming as soon as possible. Now that I don't have to prepare for St. Patrick's Day party, I have a little more time to to get back to people who one or two of which have asked me if they want to if they can read in May. So I'm looking forward to that. So all that that's usually the stuff you hear at the end of all the services, and the calendar stuff is usually what you hear at the end of a church service. I get it kind of in the middle. I wanted you to leave on a high, which is the poet's words, the feature's words. So let's get to the feature, and let me read the boilerplate. Most of you already know the boilerplate because you are members of his entourage. But for those who aren't, I love when the poets bring their entourage. I just like the word entourage too. For those who don't know, Rick Christiansen, a quick bio. Rick is the author of Bone Fragments, which was published in 2024, and Not a Hero, which was published in 2025 from Spartan Press. His work has received two 2025 Pushcart Prize nominations, and he was also a finalist for the Rhino Poetry Foundation Founders Prize in 2025. He has been longlisted for a 2025 Rising Award, outcome pending. So as of this writing, or as of when this bio was printed, his poems explore survival, memory, class, and the residue of violence. He lives in Kansas City with his wife Kim and his dog B. And now he is debuting a brand new collection. Write real fast, look for the line breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, friends new and old, put your hands together, let's say about 45 times, virtually, audibly, visually, however you'd like, for Rick.
Thank you very much, Chad. You mentioned Ron Goba a minute ago. I want to dedicate this is the debut reading of this manuscript. Hopefully it'll come out this fall. Contracts are not signed yet, so I won't say any more, but they're pending. I never studied with Ron Goba, but I workshopped with people who did study with Ron Goba, and I will flatter myself that what I'm reading tonight is something that he would have approved of. So let me dedicate this to the late Ron Goba. It is called Wednesday Morning in the Forest. I'm going to read it in its entirety. This is a single day told from several vantage points, each one holding a different edge of the light, and I'll read it without interruption. Wednesday morning in the forest. The forest was quiet again. Grandmother's morning. She sifted flour into the blue bowl from their first winter. A square of sun warmed the counter, her hand steady. 2 eggs, milk, the spoon circling without thought. The children at school. She pictured them, bent over their slates, lunches waiting on the back table. Outside, a horse's step, a cart passing. The dough rose beneath the cloth, a light press, almost ready. She took out the good knife, thinking of apple pie after dinner. She imagined the doorway full of their voices, the smell of bread lifting warm around them. One last need, rolls on the tray, milk brushed across the tops. The oven door closed softly. She wiped her hands, straightened her apron, listened to the small sounds of the house. Soon, they will be home. Schoolhouse, first lesson. She rang the bell once. The children settled into their rows, names taken, slate dust rising, cold still on their sleeves. 10 minutes in, the headmaster entered. No greeting, just 2 names. The boys stood, chairs scraped. He led them out, door closing too softly. A hush, pencils held midair, 20 eyes asking. Copy the sums, she said. Neat lines, quiet work. Outside, boots on the road. A shouted order, another, then silence. Not quite silence. She turned the children away from the windows. Eyes here, she said. Let's continue. A girl raised her hand. Why are people walking past? She erased the board, wrote new sums, harder ones. Stay focused, she said. Keep your slates steady. More movement outside. Metal glint. A cluster of shapes moving toward the trees. Miss? Another child whispered. Are they going to the forest? She dropped the chalk. Picked it up, set it down. When school ends, she said, go straight home. No wandering, no shortcuts, not today. They nodded, small, obedient. She rang the bell again, too early, too bright. Recess indoors, she said, and closed the shutters one by one. Headmaster. I said the names, just names, a list left on my desk. The children looked up, sharp, all at once. Breath snagged in my chest. They stood, chair scraped, a dry edge on my teeth. I didn't touch them, only said, come. The word stalled in my throat. Boots in the hall, metal shifting, the corridor narrowing. I kept my eyes on the doorframe, not their backs. Outside, breath clouding, boots adjusting, a small click, ready. A pulse jumped, stalled in my neck. My hand shook. I pressed them flat to my coat until they steadied. The latch snapped, hard, a line of cold up the spine. Inside, desks waiting, children with still hands. I lined the papers, moved a book again. Names, I mouthed, just names. But the latch, that click, working in my jaw. Digger. They told him, sunrise, shovels, a day's wage, nothing more. He came early, frost on the grass, his breath a small cloud in the cold. The soldiers pointed, here, wider, deeper. He nodded. His hands did the work. Villagers were brought in, 10, then 20, heads down, hands unsteady on handles. A cholera grave, perhaps? An accident? The war reaching further than rumor allowed. Then he saw the doctor, coat open, glasses gone, eyes fixed on him. A woman from the bakery, 2 boys who hauled wood to the schoolhouse. The digging slowed. Shouts. A snapped root, sharp, hollow, echoed in his ribs. A soldier's hand pressed his shoulder. Stay. Work. So he worked. He shoveled earth. Wet clods. He shoveled earth. Wet clods. Everybody mute, please. Clay giving way, inch by inch. No thoughts left, only the dirt in his mouth. He did not meet the doctor's gaze again. The pit widened. Boots paced behind him. When it was nearly done, the officer nodded. Good. Move aside. He moved. Hands mud to the wrists. Breath tight. Cold down his spine, steady. The villagers stood together, thin line, shivering, waiting. As the doctor passed, his sleeve brushed the diggers. A faint touch, brief as dust. The digger turned away, looked at the soil, at the hole he had opened for them. Already the ground had him. When the shots came, he did not fall, but something in him did, quietly, all at once. March. Step, 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 step. Road dust thickens as we move, boots pushing pace, not ours, too close. Road dust sticks to our clothes, cold, locking breath to the throat, not ours, too close. Coats scraping, fibers showing, cold, locking breath to the throat, small feet slipping on frost, coats scraping, seams thinning, hands hauling, elbows forward, small feet catching on rocks, a shoe left where it fell, hands hauling elbows forward, someone whispering, don't. A shoe left where it fell, a man counting under breath, someone muttering, broken words, trees looming, fields gone, a man counting under breath, the village shrinking to a single chimney, trees thickening, fields swallowed, low steam on the ground ahead, the village behind, trees, no chimney, a slip, a drag, no slowing, heat rising where the earth is slashed, a track carved by those ahead, a slip, a drag, no slowing, a child falls, no one stopping, a track worn by those pushed ahead, boots crushing gravel, driving, a child down, nothing slowing, heads bowing, breath cutting, boots crushing gravel, driving, voices behind tightening, heads bowing, breath faltering, a sob bitten off, voices behind tightening, metal rising into hearing, a sob bitten off, cold nodding under the trees, metal lifting into hearing, step, 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 cold nodding under the trees, the pit ahead, nothing beyond, step, 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 step. Past this point, the ground gives way. Periphery. He broke from the line when no one looked. Branches opened. He slipped inside. Cold on his teeth, thorns on his sleeves, breath held so long it burned. He ran until running was only falling forward, then stopped, forest spinning. Behind him, voices, orders, the flat sound he recognized. He doubled back, slower now, low to the ground, hands shaking. Through the pines, a clearing, bodies pushed toward cut earth. Too far to know who was who, near enough to know any of them could be his. A woman stumbling, maybe the neighbor, a boy his brother's height, or not, he couldn't tell. Boots drove them one by one, the earth took them. He gripped a trunk, bark split under his nails. Relief rose, first sharp, wrong, then the weight. He was outside the line. Another crack, another, each one landing in his ribs. He bit his sleeve to stay quiet, leaned forward, pulled back, stayed. Smoke drifting, cold thickening. A last figure pushed ahead. He closed his eyes, opened them, still couldn't tell. Voices softened, boots moved off. Only then did he loosen his grip, skin raw. A step back, another, forest gathering around him. He didn't look again, didn't speak, moved until sound was gone, and kept moving until even silence felt safe for now. Angle of sky. They stood together in the pit, father and son in a single angle of sky. The boy's hand trembled in his father's palm. The father lifted their hands higher. Look, he said. The boy tilted his chin. The sky was wide, hard above them. Are you cold? The father asked. The boy hesitated, then nodded. The father squeezed his hand twice, their signal for, I'm here. The boy squeezed back once, their signal for, I know. Behind them, metal clicked. Orders muttered, boots shifting on frozen dirt. The father lowered his head to the boy's ear. I'm cold too, he said. For a breath, the boy forgot the cold. For a breath, the father steadied himself. For a breath, something lifted. Forest ledger. The forest keeps no stories. Still, rings thicken. A tremor, light broken, light returning. A faint shiver in the needles. Soil loosens. Heat moves downward, settling among older warmth. Pressure travels, trunk to trunk, root to root. A quiet charge carried below. Birds lift, scatter, still again. Their feathers fall into what opens. Long ago, hooves, later iron, later still the same weight in another coat, leaving its trace in mineral and ash. Nothing yields, nothing refuses. The forest takes what enters, heat, iron, the slow release of bodies into soil, drawn down to where thin roots take hold. Seasons settle, trunk width widens, leaf dark deepens, patterns recur, unnamed. Then wind, then snow, sap lifts, shaped by what the ground has kept. Cold pattern. Cold moves fast. The deer freezes, iron on the air, breath thin, foxes, frost tremor, ground tightening, crows, metal taste, earth lifted, clearing, motion, warmth, pressure, soil breaking open, a crack, not wood, not stone, heat drifting upward, thickening the air, slow, owl, tilt, feather, listen, shift. Then stillness, steam lowering, scent thinning, earth pulling shut, morning weight returning, back to bark, root, cold fur, nothing said, nothing held, only the air changed and changing back. Choices. Don't cry. Not now. Not yet. Warm against me. You're so warm. How? Metal behind us, stiff sounds, boots, earth shifting. My hand, your head, small weight, small life. Sky is a slit, cold light. No help coming. Hush, please hush. Your breath, a feather, a flicker. Should I? No, don't think it. Don't think. One press, one mercy. My hand could, no, no. You sigh. You don't know. You can't know. I can hear them. Almost ready. Almost. I can't. I won't. Not for me. Not you. Hold still. Stay warm. Stay here. I've got you. For this breath. This one. This. Dispatch. Field Unit 7. 0500 hours. Request quicklime. 2 pits filled. Soil damp. Slowing process. 0548 hours. Reply. Delay unacceptable. Increase pace. Report numbers. 0627 hours. Update. Ammunition low. Barrels overheating. Men fatigued. 0650 hours. Reply. Requisition approved. Crates en route. Ensure accuracy. 0801 hours. Request. Whiskey. Morale unstable. 4 men refusing food. 0822 hours. Reply. Whiskey deferred. Priority throughput. Advise rotation. 0905 hours. Update. Civilian group incoming. Mixed ages. Weather worsening. 0927 hours. Reply. Expedite procedure. Document clothing only. No personal items. 0954 hours. Request. Additional quicklime. Second mound collapsing. Steam rising. 1017 hours. Reply. Supply limited. Use sparingly. Cover until dusk. 01048 hours. Update. Men asking questions. Chaplain interfering. Awaiting guidance. 1151 hours. Reply. Chaplain reassigned. Maintain order. Transmit final count at 1400 hours. After action report. Unit 14. Unit 14 reports satisfactory completion of all assigned tasks in the designated woodland sector. Local assigned personnel executed the operation with noted efficiency, maintained order throughout. Civilian movement proceeded without disruption. All individuals reached location in proper formation. Environmental conditions presented no meaningful impediment, and operational pacing remained within acceptable parameters. Post-event procedures followed standing guidelines. Recovery teams collected garments, outerwear, and personal effects, including adult and juvenile articles. Items sorted and forwarded for redistribution and repurposing under the National Conservation Initiative. Footwear cataloged separately, tagged, and conveyed to the Quartermaster Depot. Household retrieval operations are scheduled. Units will conduct a systematic review of vacated dwellings to collect valuables, documents, and materials of strategic relevance. All acquisitions to be inventoried in support of the war effort and in alignment with current directives on resource reclamation. No disciplinary issues were reported. Morale remains within accepted range. Unit leadership requests acknowledgement of the smooth coordination achieved across departments. Fields cleared by midday. Nothing left in the silence except what we keep. Thank you.
Just gonna let this sit for a second. Could you go back to the 20th part about boots? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was that was fantastic. And what's the name of the collection?
It is called Wednesday Morning in the Forest. I wrote this between Thanksgiving and Christmas. All of the fascism that we're seeing way closer to home than we're used to. My head was going to explode. So this is what I did.
Well, I'm glad you did it.
It occurred to me that every Wednesday morning in a forest or a jungle or a desert or somewhere throughout time, Rome, Armenia, Poland, Rwanda, this happens over and over and over again. You know, wash, rinse, repeat. And there is so much complicity without meaning to. And we institutionalize and standardize and procedurize, if that's even a word, this institutional death and killing. And I don't want us to see it here. And I think maybe we are starting to on a small scale, and I hope never on a large scale. And so I hope this work, when it gets out there into the world, will make people think a little bit and maybe realize that silence is complicity and silence is acquiescence, and everybody has to stand up so that nobody has to die.
That was well said, and I hope this book finds a publisher one way or another.
I think we're
And
close.
that's great. That's really good news. I can maybe even recommend one or two publishers here in Somerville or Cambridge that might be interested in it.
Thank you, my friend.
Finally, some of the local presses who have been here a long time are starting to actually, stop with their no politics, no political leanings in their work. It's Marshall. Oh, Main Street Grog is a good one too. But
Yeah,
um, but
yeah.
I'm so glad that we're kind of moving away from that. Um, but I wish you the best of luck, and definitely keep us posted, and definitely keep on working.
I will. And thank you
Did
for
anyone
this
have anything to
opportunity.
say? Did anyone have anything to say or comment? I know there are
Great work.
comments going on in the chat.
Great work, Rick. Really awesome.
Thank you.
Great work, Rick. No King's Day protest, March 28th.
So well read too.
Thank you, Rick. I just loved it. Just loved it.
Very
I'm gonna be,
heavy.
I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing this. There's I have a lot to say, but I do want to kind of like share it in like clips and of things that some of your work reminds me of. It's kind of like a bizarre coincidence how it kind of reminds me of this Rudyard Kipling poem that was actually put to music.
Oh, I know the poem. My poem March is impacted by that poem.
Yeah, but
Rick, your reading was outstanding. Absolutely first rate. It was terrific.
Thank you very much.
we all witnessed something pretty wonderful, and I'm looking forward to being able to sit down with these poems, and looking forward to incredibly economical too. This was a very boots on the ground kind of piece. Forgive the obvious wordplay here, but it's just a very spare style that I enjoy from you, and I hope you keep on going in this vein, or maybe I should hope that you don't have to go in this vein given what's going on in the world. But either way, I'm glad this is what came out of it.
Thank you.
And with that, I don't want to keep on rambling. I do want to thank you all for coming, and thanks so much to Rick. And I'm sure when the book comes out, because I think a book like this will come out one way or another. John Wesick gave you a couple of good suggestions too. We'll definitely want to grab this again. And with that, as people are leaving, sorry Finn left before he could say anything. I want to give the obligatory wave and thank you all for coming, and thank you all for being part of this. It can be like this every week. All we need is you. Check out the Stone Soup Facebook page. Social media is the devil, but it's the devil that helps me stay in contact with all you guys. I've been using it since 2009, Facebook in particular. So I have a pretty foolproof system set up. So join us that way if you can, or if you want to look my name up and check me out on Substack. It'll be I deliver a mailing. I deliver a newsletter every Wednesday detailing the links to the feature, if you prefer it that way. But it'd be great to keep in contact with you however you'd like. And thank you guys very much, and I hope you have an excellent evening. And thanks once again to Rick.
Thank you,
Virtual applause
everybody.
all around. Or as they like to say, the show's over. See you next time.